Ooh, right guys, today I'm bringing you a legendary item guide in Borderlands 3, and in this video we'll be looking at the Torg assault rifle known as the Juliet's Dazzle. The red text on the weapon reads, lights up the world. And what's special about this weapon is when you fire the weapon you'll notice that it shoots projectiles that sparkle as they travel. Projectiles fired from this weapon won't stop traveling when they collide with an enemy, they'll actually continue to pass through, and not only that, they can also ricochet once before ultimately exploding when they ricochet a second time. And also when you get a kill with this weapon, your magazine will refill automatically from your reserves without having to reload. To get this weapon as of when this video releases and up until the 10th of January 2020, there's actually two ways you can get this weapon. The first and permanent way is by defeating Aurelia Hammerlock on Mayhem 4, who can be found on the Black Barrel Cellars. On Mayhem 4, she can be quite tricky. She has a lot of moves that can deal you a lot of damage, so you definitely want to go in prepared. But you just want to make sure you're in Mayhem 4, defeat her, and then you'll have a chance in order to get the Juliet's Dazzle to drop. Now, the second method that expires on the 10th of January 2020 is by actually using a shift code in order to unlock the weapon. If you don't know what shift codes are, there's a service called Shift where you can enter codes. Gearbox usually distributes these codes in order to get golden keys in Borderlands 3, but with Christmas just around the corner, they've decided to release a load of codes for different items. Most of them are cosmetic, but there's actually a code in order to unlock the Juliet's Dazzle. So when you're in game, you want to pause, and then you want to go to social, and then at the top you want to click the Shift tab. Now this is the middle one, and you'll come up with an interface for the whole Shift service. If you've never heard of Shift before, then you'll most likely need to create an account, and you'll be prompted to do this when you click on the Shift tab. But if you have a Shift account and it's linked, then you'll be able to enter in a code. All the codes for the Juliet's Dazzle, as well as some of the cosmetics with the Christmas stuff, is in the description below, just to make it easier for you so you don't have to go find them. But when you enter this code, it will give you a prompt to say that the code was accepted. It will then shift to the rewards that you've unlocked using Shift codes, and then in order to get the Juliet's Dazzle, you want to transition over to the mail tab. There'll be a bit of mail titled Gift of Mayhem Juliet's Dazzle. You just want to accept this, and then when you quit out of all that and go into your inventory, you'll have a Juliet's Dazzle there and waiting for you. If you want this gun, I definitely recommend you go and redeem the shift code now, especially with some of these Mayhem 4 exclusive weapons. They can be quite a task in order to farm, so for a guaranteed chance, hop on over and redeem the shift code for your Juliet's Dazzle. Now, like I mentioned, the projectiles that you shoot from this gun actually pass through the enemies. Now, I didn't realize this at first, and I thought I was missing all my bullets, but I later realized as I was going on and using this a lot more that the bullets were actually passing through them, dealing the damage, and then they were also just traveling on so they could deal extra damage to other enemies that may be in the path behind them or in the path of where the projectile ricochets to. In Mayhem 3 mode, this gun actually does very decent damage. It's a lot like the Crazy ZMP. It took me by surprise the damage that it actually did, but in Mayhem 3 this gun does definitely dish out above average damage, I would say. This gun can come in either non-element or cryo. The projectiles fired from this weapon can ricochet, like I said, but once they ricocheted once, the next surface that it collides with will ultimately result in the projectile exploding, meaning that it won't be able to ricochet anymore. An enemy does not count as this next surface, so if you were to fire this weapon and make the projectiles ricochet before it hits an enemy, they will not explode upon hitting the enemy. They will continue to phase through like they do if you don't have them ricochet. This effect is actually really nice because it means your primary target will be taking the damage, but you also have this very high chance that these bullets will ricochet and deal damage to some of the enemies that are also lingering about the area where you're fighting enemies. Apart from all this, the automatic reload when getting a kill is a nice finishing touch to the weapon's abilities. In Mayhem 3, apart from all of these squishy enemies, you're going to have a really big time actually being able to kill an enemy in one clip, especially most of the badass enemies and some of the tougher ones like partisans. All of these will take multiple clips, so it doesn't really help, but especially some of these smaller enemies like Tinks or Psychos, All-Stars you can kill in one clip. All of these will take less than a clip in order to actually kill, and you'll be able to just fire at these, kill them, and then move straight on to the next enemy without having to reload because the gun has already reloaded as a result of your previous kill. Apart from all this, the stats on the gun are actually quite good, so if you want to go pick this up, definitely, like I said, the shift codes are all in the description. If you want an easy time of getting this up until the 10th of January, that is when the codes expire. But other than that, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you found this useful. Make sure to subscribe for future legendary item guides on my channel. And yeah, see you in the next video.